Hey, I want to welcome you all to the MSW program. My name is Dr. Sean St. Jean. I'm the Field Education Director here, and I've got 5 tips to help you get through this program, not just to get through it, but to enjoy it. Tip number 1, take a breath, but do start now. Don't actually wait for the term to begin. If you've got your textbooks, if you have your syllabi, start reading now. You have all of this time in front of you to read ahead, to start kind of connecting dots. It's really important that you start. And I'm going to tell you a story. I failed out of school when I was 18 years old. And the reason I failed out is because I had a really big procrastination problem. I struggled to get started. If the first due date wasn't for 3 weeks, I was going to wait like 2.5 weeks before I started that thing. So it's really important that you start as soon as you can. What that does is it'll give you this sense of calm and confidence as you go about your work. Number 2, build a map. What does that mean? It's important to take a look at your program as a whole. You want to get a handle on, okay, what is everything that's required of me, not just in the program, but in each particular term. You're going to want to look at what classes do I have this term? Do I have an internship? Do I have, what's going on? And you're going to want to plot all of your everything on a concise 1-page map. That would include due dates for major assignments, different milestones. It gives you a sense of, okay, what does my work look like and what's due when? Oftentimes we're just looking ahead to the next thing that's due, but by building a map, you get an overall sense. You never want to rely on your professor's due dates for your assignments. You want to set your own due dates, which is very empowering. It doesn't matter if something's due November 3rd. You can set your own due date for October 15th. And say, I'm going to have it done by then. What that does is, when you finish that paper by October 15th, knowing you still have almost 3 weeks left before you have to get it in, it'll give you such a sense of relief. And it'll give you time to work on other things. So, but that can only happen if you have a good sense of what does my overall term map look like? Number 3, turn plagiarism into a proficient paper. Now, what the heck does that mean? What I mean is, it's super easy to plagiarize. And we see it every year. We see somebody is, swamped, they're overwhelmed, they're running out of time, or they don't know what to say. And so they will put work they found on the internet into their paper, and they'll pass it off as though it was their own. Of course, that's a huge no-no. At best, we'll find out. We always do. At best, you'll fail the paper, and it can get worse from there. But here's the funny thing about plagiarism. When people plagiarize, they're actually weirdly on the right track. What I mean is, when a person is plagiarizing, it's usually because they don't know what to say. They're looking for expertise. Well, any decent paper will also do the same thing. We'll ask the question, how do I get to this knowledge? How do I find the answer to this question? You're going to want to bring in experts. We want to stand on the shoulders of giants. What that means is, bring that person in. Don't Wikipedia the thing, but find experts that know about the topic that you're writing about and quote them. The only difference between plagiarizing and quoting a source is just throwing some quotation marks around it and citing it according to APA standards, which is way easier. I've seen students try to change the language on a quote so it sounds like theirs. It takes far less time. This is the funny thing. It takes far less time to simply quote that author and reference them as a part of your paper than it would take to try to make that sound like you had said it. Not only that, but you'll get a higher grade when you bring in outside sources, academically rigorous research to make your points. You're going to get a much higher mark on your paper. Number 4, communicate. Remember that we're all just human beings. We've all got stuff to do, but we're here to serve you. We want you to be successful. We all understand that life happens, things happen, health challenges come up, work challenges, like family stuff. Hey, we're all dealing with this, and so I think you'll find we have a lot of grace and empathy for your situation. This is why if you find like you're getting behind and you don't think you're going to get something in on time, please let us know in advance. Crucially, in advance. So like, if you need an extension, chances are your professor will say yes, especially if it's the first time you've ever asked for one. Or they may take off less marks, less points, if you go to them in advance. Now, if you wait until after the due date, and much worse, if you wait until your professor has to come after you for that assignment, it's too late. So communicate early, communicate often. And the other thing is, if you're confused about something, like sincerely confused, don't be afraid to reach out. We have built time into our schedules to be able to help students one-on-one. So please communicate with us. Number 5, radical consistency is the cure for anxiety when it comes to school. What do I mean? Rather than waiting until the last second, as we covered, you're going to want to just pace yourself throughout the semester. The more work you can do on a regular basis, like over the course of a week, the more confident you'll become in your mind and in your body that you're actually getting this work done. So much of the anxiety is actually just a cue from our bodies into our minds, like, oh, something's wrong, like danger is coming if you don't get this thing submitted on time. What that can lead to is a bit of a procrastination loop where we're trying to get rid of the feelings of anxiety. We have the sense of overwhelm, so we push that thing away. The solution is actually preemptive. The solution is to try to book a time every single day if you can where you will attend to school prep. It might be like 7 to 9 p.m. every night, or in the morning before work, or something like that. The more regularly you can work on schoolwork, the more confidence you'll have, and you'll be able to get into a routine and a system that will make your school prep relatively unstressful. So those are the 5 things I have. Of course, there are many more tips and tricks, but if you focus on those 5 things, you'll probably do okay. Anyway, again, best of luck. I look forward to seeing you in class.